What's your name?
Delbert Short.
Delbert Short. Okay.
S-H-O-R-T. And you turn the crank. And
Wow, a lot of stuff it does.
yeah. Well, see, there's.
Let's see, there's a little gear over there. Oh, I see that. Okay. Oh, it goes either way. No, it doesn't.
Only goes one way.
Only one way. Okay.
Yeah.
This chain looks like you've made that yourself, huh?
Oh yeah.
Wow, just like a bicycle chain kind of.
Yeah.
It's just.
Yeah, I make the chains and the sprockets. I make the whole works. This is all wood. There's no metal in it at all. None. All wood and dowels.
Why?
Different kinds of hardwood, glue, and dowels.
No nails or screws?
No nails. This is patterned after
Oh yeah, the governor on a tractor or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was making parts of it out here, and a friend from Cresswell come up here, and he looked at it and he said, "It needs a governor on it." So I
So you
made
put
that.
one on.
The first machine I built was this one here.
Okay, I can get a picture over there if you want.
Put it over here so you can run it. Now this is the first machine I built, and it's 20-some years old, so it'll probably hang up quite a bit. Sometimes it don't, sometimes it does.
Yeah, it hangs up a little. Huh. Boy, quite a complicated piece of machinery.
But it's all modular, just like that big one out in the shop. You know, only instead of having pegs in the side, I got turnbuckles on here. So I turn the turnbuckle and I can take this off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if I have to work on it, I can take it off.
Oh, that's pretty handy.
Yeah, the whole thing's that way. I got it made so it all comes apart, the different parts of it, so that I can work on them if something goes wrong with them. Well, even the support in the middle has got a turnbuckle on it. And there's a turnbuckle on this one, and a turnbuckle on this one, and a turnbuckle on this. Everything's made so it all comes apart. I got pegs here. Take the pegs out, and this all comes off. So if I have to work on it. But that's the first machine I made. And this is probably 20 years old.
20 years old and it still works.
Yeah.
Okay.
This thing you turn this, and all the peg gears, you notice all turn that way when I turn it that way. And all the cage gears all go this way.
Oh.
You notice how they all...
Yeah.
And that's low gear. If you turn it around, turn this one, this is what's called high gear.
Oh yeah, that's where they're going, huh? Wow.
Just has to do with the gearing is all. This machine, this is another one that's kind of unique. People don't realize why it does it. I mean, I know why it does it, but the people, they really get puzzled at why it does it, because you turn the crank this way, and it turns this wheel counterclockwise.
Well, it keeps going back and forth.
Yeah, but see, it's turning that wheel counterclockwise. Turning the crank clockwise, but if I turn the crank counterclockwise, the wheel still goes counterclockwise. No matter which way you turn it, that wheel always goes the same way.
Well, how come for that? You must have a slip gear or something.
Well, it has to do with this part right here.
Oh.
Because this thing just goes back and forth. Either way you turn this goes back and forth, and by going back and forth, it's turning that wheel.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's got a ratchet on it.
Yeah, well, it's got two ratchets. There's a ratchet down here. It's pushing it one way, and the one here is pulling it.
Oh, okay. Now I see. Okay.
But it's like anything that's made out of wood. When it's made out of wood, why it swells and shrinks and swells and shrinks, and as a result, why sometimes it hangs up, sometimes it don't.
Yeah.
This is a machine that I built especially to show off this movement right here. See that little wheel there? It has 3 pegs in it, and they travel in those slots to turn the big wheel. When I built it, my wife says, well, it ought to do something, so I made a fan blade to go on it. She said that was our air conditioner.
Now, what are you? What does it do now? That this right here?
There's 3 pegs, and you can see the pegs in this little wheel here. It has 3 pegs, and they swap slots.
Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, I see.
And it was used in some piece of machinery years and years ago.
Okay.
For some purpose. It changes the speed of the shaft, for one thing. This shaft on the bottom is turning different speed than the shaft that comes out of this one.
Okay.
Probably half speed, I suppose you'd call it. But that was the purpose of making it, was to show off that one deal. And I had to make I got the holes lined up for these shafts, and I didn't quite figure out the right dimension, and the chain was too loose. But if I took a link out, I couldn't get the chain on. So I had to put a chain tightener in, and I wanted to make it out of wood, so I made a spring, a wooden spring, that holds this against that chain.
I see.
To keep the chain.
Yeah.
Keeps the chain tight. Yeah, when you turn it, you can see it holding the chain. It's just a chain tightener is all it is.
Yeah.
You can make it work by turning this.
Oh, I see. And you got foot pedals for it. Oh, kind of a crankshaft runs it.
Yeah.
I see.
So I had it on Woodcraft on display, and the kids stomped on both pedals at the same time out there, and they broke the crank.
I broke something.
So I've got to fix it. Something that's rather unique. I built several of these full size, but I don't have one. They all went to my kids and relatives. They're a clothes rack, but they, instead of setting up like a regular clothes rack, they set up like that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So you
And
can
they fold up like a regular clothes rack.
you put little stuff on it. Well, if you made it
Well,
bigger.
this is just a model.
Oh, it's just a model.
I created this to learn how to make them.
Oh,
Because I saw one on Antique Roadshow on TV, and I took a picture of it.
Uh-huh.
And then from the picture, I made this one.
Oh.
I had a heck of a time creating it, but I finally figured it out. So then from this one, I made the big ones, full-size ones.
Oh. Okay.
You put it on a string, and then he travels on the other side. He'll go down the string. Then you tip the string the other way, he goes backwards. And these girls hanging on this pole he's holding there, that's what counterbalances them.
Oh.
Yeah.
How do you turn it now? Do you just turn it by hand?
No, you just tip the string up and down, and just gravity makes him go down the string, and then you tip it down the other way, and he goes backwards.
Okay. Oh, that sounds just like a train, all right.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I got up to $350, and they finally quit asking me to make them.
Oh, okay. Get the price high enough, and you can take a vacation.
Yeah.
Well, what is it? Kind of a bellows or something that makes that noise?
It's a bellows behind the deal.
Oh.
And then these are whistles like goes into an organ.
Yeah.
There's 3 different ones, so it makes 3 tones together.
I see. Yeah, I see it go back now like an accordion kind of.
Yeah. It's got a spring in it that pushes it back.
Oh, okay.
Inside of it. You've seen them on the railroads. They pump the hand cars, they call them.
Mm-hmm.
They pump them up and down when they go to work on the railroad, to work on the switches and stuff. They used to pump these hand cars.
Oh, I see. It's got a little. Is that a rubber band? Is that what
Yeah.
it is?
Yeah, I used to use string, but a rubber band seems to work better.
Yeah.
Except February 14th, 1922. It was a salesman sample. They take them around to the mercantiles and try to sell them butter churns like the one up there. You know, there's some up on
big
top of the
ones.
organs. And They carried this because it was small,
Uh-huh.
and it was this was the Daisy Company.
Well, they made BB guns too. I guess they make other things besides.
Well, I think they were two different companies.
Oh, well, maybe they were.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a salesman sample. It's, actually, this is worth 10 times what those are because there were so few of these made. They made thousands of those,
Yeah.
but they only made one for, just made them for the salesmen, you know. Yeah, you put the bread, open it up and put the bread in, and then when it toasts on that side, you turn it and it toasts the other side.
Yeah.
And the other side does the same thing.
What a gadget. Okay.
And there's I found a cord that fits it too, so. And then that's a rheostat. That thing behind them. It was made years and years and years ago by the tag on there. If you look at the patent number, why it was, I forget what the patent number is on there now, but it was one of the first ones they made. And they're made, these are blocks of carbon blocks. And you undo this, I cleaned it all up, it was dirty, and then you move this to wherever you want, and you count the number of blocks, and it gives you the number of resistance you're putting on.
Oh, I see. A do-it-yourself resistor.
Yeah. And you just tighten this up, and the amount of resistance from here to here through these carbon blocks, you knew what your resistance was.
Oh, okay.
So I cleaned it all up and mounted it to a board and everything. People see it and they say, that should be in a museum somewhere. It is a little motor that runs on DC that I picked up at a garage sale or something.
What's that big thing, the tallest thing in back there?
That is a motor that runs the player piano.
Oh.
There's one like that in the player piano, and that's a centrifuge for measuring the amount of fat in milk.
Oh, really? Well, what's the crank for? What does it do?
Well, I'll get it down. I don't have the bottles that goes with it. I just picked up some bottles to put in it. The regular bottles that put in it had marks on them that told you what they were. But
Oh.
it works by centrifuge, the specific gravity of different fluids. The milk was heavier than the cream,
Yeah.
so the milk would go to the bottom of the tube, and then when you'd turn it for so many times, then you'd stop it, take the bottle out, and you'd read on the side of the bottle. You could tell the difference between the milk and the cream. You'd know how much percentage of cream you had in your bottle.
Huh. Now you say that one uses gas?
Yeah, you put gas in this, and then it has a pump up here, and you pump pressure in it. Then you release this, and it's gas, and you light it with a match. And it has a gas burner in there,
Wow.
and heats the iron.
Of course,
To
that
me,
could be
it'd be a dangerous
a
thing
little
to use.
dangerous. Yeah, you might singe your fingers a little bit. You say that's got
Yeah,
a
it
tray
has
in?
a tray that comes out.
Uh-huh.
The trouble is, they're so dang heavy.
Wow. Looks like it is a little heavy for a housewife to be carrying around.
Yeah. But
Oh my, a big block of...
I guess this one, maybe
Steel.
this isn't the one. Somewhere I've got one that's got a tray you put coals in out of the fire.
Uh-huh.
I don't know where it's at. I thought this was it, but this isn't. You heat that thing there on the stove and pick it up with a poker and put it in here.
Oh.
Somewhere I've got one that I don't know where it's at. Got so much junk I can't see. I've got all kinds of flat irons up there. Sad irons they call them.
Involved with work anyway.
Yeah.